Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Adventures of a Real Estate Investor podcast. I'm Suzy Sevier.
And I'm Michael Barnhart, and we're excited you joined us for an adventure.
So, if you missed out on our first episode, what we went through was the 4 questions that we ask every guest. And in that episode, we did not answer the fourth question. And that question is, if you had unlimited resources available to you, how would you leave an impact? And the reason that we didn't answer that question was because it's really tied to our why. And so we thought that it deserved an episode of its own. And to break that down, further, our why is serving beyond our 4 walls. And what that means to us is that there is a space beyond the comfort of our homes, and that space deserves the love and attention that it needs. We want to go and serve others who cannot help themselves. And that's really huge for Michael and I, just because this earth is a miracle and it is so beautiful. And there are so many people out there who just with a little bit of that, 1% impact could make changes in the world. And it's more than just who we are. We want to extend the goodness that we can to as many people as we can.
Absolutely. So one of the ways that we do that is by focusing on a different ROI. A lot of times a lot of real estate investors or just investors in general focus on return on investment, right? ROI. However, Suzy and I focus on a different ROI. That's return on impact, right? This is something that's immeasurable, right? So every time that we're analyzing a property, every time that we're developing a business plan, we take a step back and we look at our business plan and we say, how is this business plan specifically impacting the residents and the community that we're purchasing? And if it's not, then we figure out a way to make an impact, right? We are buying apartment communities. People live there, right? These are where people live and the residents are there. And so we want to make the largest impact that we can through real estate investing.
Yeah, because if we can make a community where people can focus on thriving instead of surviving, the ripple effect of that positive effect is huge, right? So you can focus on yourself more, that self-care. You can focus on your family or your children more. Then you can probably perform better in your job and just be a better overall citizen within itself. And so we really just wanted to make sure that we created a safe basic need for people. Shelter is a basic need, and we want to make sure that we have that covered every way possible. And an example of that is that when Michael and I were looking over Harper's Lodge, and that's one of our assets, we were like, okay, what can we do? And the biggest thing for us that jumped out was adding washers and dryers into the units. And how we looked at that was people can now spend time in their home instead of spending hours on a Saturday or a Sunday going and having to a laundromat, and washing their clothes and drying them, because that can take 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And when you can just do that in the background of everything else that you need to complete at your home, that's just one less thing that you have to think about, right? It's one task that you can just know that is happening in the background. So then you can focus on the things that really do matter inside your home. And so we're just trying to find different ways to make sure that the residents are truly comfortable.
Absolutely. And so by focusing on this different ROI, this return on impact, whether it's adding amenities or adding, in-unit washer and dryers and anything other additions you make to the property, you're going to increase the retention of the residents on the property, right? That is the most critical thing as an asset manager. If you have resident retention, then you also have increased NOI. You have referrals coming in from your residents, which are huge, right? And I think a lot of the professional asset managers that you hear, these professional syndicators, these top people, are always focusing on resident retention. And when you take a step back and you move away from return on investment and you focus on return on impact, that is when you can achieve the highest resident retention.
Yeah, and even to go just beyond that, right? Like how we serve beyond our four walls, like we truly love mentoring others. I mean, I have been a coach earlier in life, and Michael has been a professor, is a professor, will be a professor. And so through mentoring others, whether for me that was in business school or when I was a coach, that was for swimming. Like when you watch that light bulb go off, in somebody's eyes, like it is a truly amazing effect because in itself, they gain more confidence. But what we found in real estate was that it's a really great community where people are there to help one another, and what we see a lot in real estate is that there are a lot of people that are in the barrel of monkeys instead of the bucket full of crabs. And so what that is that if you've ever played the game barrel of monkeys, one monkey has his arm up and the other monkey has its arm down, right? So you're always reaching down to help lift somebody up, and somebody will always be reaching down for you, helping lift yourself up. With a bucket full of crabs, if you've ever watched crabs try to get out of a bucket, as they're reaching the top, you see the other crabs pulling the crabs towards the top down. And that is just a situation that we avoid at all costs. We want to constantly be in the mindset where we are always there to help somebody because what is that Ziglar quote? I love it. You can say it better than I can.
Yeah, Zig Ziglar's quote is, you can get everything you want in the world if you help enough people get exactly what they want, or something like that. And I love that quote because we are in the abundance mindset here at Adventurous REI. And like as Suzy has mentioned, like we love mentoring others, we love teaching, we love education, we love giving back, whether that is, through any kind of coaching, but also through helping other people with real estate, right? We love to give back. Even that you just have to be like one step ahead of that person, right? To be able to give back. Just keep that in mind. And so to answer the question, if you had unlimited resources available to you, how would you leave an impact? Our whole focus with that is education. So we are leveraging, real estate to achieve this, to make this impact, because what we're going to do is use the money we get from real estate as a tool to go and build schools in third world countries. And here's why. Because basic education, reading, writing, can be such a game changer for all these countries, right? So we want to build schools in these third world countries because education directly correlates with many solutions to poverty, including economic growth, and education can reduce income inequality. It can reduce infant and maternal deaths. It can reduce vulnerability and HIV and AIDS. It can reduce violence at home and in society. And most importantly, it can help save the planet. Agriculture contributes 1/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions. Primary and secondary education can provide future farmers with critical knowledge about sustainability in agriculture.
Yeah, and that's where it all ties in from the beginning, right? Like serving beyond our four walls because we see this world like as a miracle and as a gift. And to be able to do as much as we can to like help others that are here and on it and in this journey with us is something that we definitely want to do. I mean, even like another thing that blows like Michael and I away is that if all the students in low income countries just had basic reading skills and nothing else, just basic reading skills, it's estimated that 171 million people could escape extreme poverty. That is mind blowing to be able to have that many people escape extreme poverty. And if all adults completed secondary education, we would cut the global poverty rate by more than half. And that gives me chills because, many of us grew up not even thinking that education was not going to be part of our lives. And to know that so many people don't even have basic reading skills is heartbreaking. And so we really do just want to use real estate to create a place where we can pursue these passions and do like our life's work, because education is so important to Michael and I that we want to make sure that others have it as well.
Absolutely. And we'd love to have you alongside this journey with us. So if you're interested in joining us on this journey, please feel free to reach out to us on our website, adventurousrei.com, and you'll be able to find us there and contact us there. So until next time, explore more, adventure awaits.
Woo!